hope that didn't confuse people. I just can't follow my line. During a drought, by using, so I've added by using a water hose, or water from your faucet, using a water hose or water from your faucet, which pulls water from the water table, Okay, that is what I've added. This is my original antecedent. What you guys have seen is, so my original antecedent went from here to here. If you water your grass during a drought was my original antecedent in example 1. I've made my antecedent longer. This is the augmented antecedent. Now, my thicker, bigger antecedent says, if you water your grass during a drought by using a water hose or water from your faucet, which pulls water from the water table, all of this now satisfies A, right? All of this satisfies my antecedent, and what I'm demonstrating is that my antecedent has gotten thicker, right? Still the same format, still the same argument, just more content information now. Okay, so that now satisfies A. Right? This satisfies my antecedent. Right, this satisfies my antecedent. Okay, so black is my original antecedent in example 1. Red is the augmented, expanded, bigger. Red is the augmented, larger antecedent, which proves that what I'm using to guide my argument is the rule of inference, which is now being appropriated to the same concept about water conservation, but now the argument's getting bigger, right? Okay, this is definitely not an easy lecture to put together. So you place, this is the original, you place added strain, on the water table. The new content that I'm adding to expand in number 2, however, maintaining the same form, is water table, because the water used to water the grass is derived from the water table. Okay. Black original argument, right? My original appropriation of modus ponens. It initially said, if you water your grass during a drought, you place added strain on the water table. That was initially what we had. That's example 1. So example 1 is embedded in example 2. I'll read that again. The initial example, example 1, is embedded in example 2 to demonstrate that we're satisfying conditions for both example 1 and example 2 in the same argument, right? So if you water your grass during a drought, then you place added strain on the water table. We've augmented that. Now we have added more content information so that it says, if you water your grass during a drought by using a water hose or water from a faucet, which pulls water from the water tablet, that now becomes my new antecedent. You place added strain on the water table because the water used to water the grass is derived from the water table itself, right? So again, example number 1 and example number 2 are embedded into, right? In example number 2, we have the original antecedent and conclusion now we have, in example number 2, example number 1 embedded plus the augmented content information. Okay, so what you would recognize is, and I don't have enough room on the board to put this, is that this satisfies condition A. So let's go through this and check this, right? I don't have room to write everything down, so you'll have to do this yourself because, you know, as a good instructor, I got to give you work, right? So, do we have our antecedent here? Yes. If you water your grass during a drought by using a water hose or water from the faucet, which pulls water from the water table, check. Then, I should put then here. Then, you place added strain on the water table because the water used to water the grass is derived from the water table. I got that. Now I just have to make an affirmation of my antecedent. So, all I would say, I don't have room to write this, so if you really want to formalize this, you write this out yourself. I just make an affirmation of this, minus the if. So, I would then say, you water your grass during a drought by using a water hose or water from your faucet, which pulls water from the water table. Therefore, which would be number 3, I can't write it because it's too much information. Therefore, number 3, you just reaffirm your consequence, right? Therefore, you get rid of then. Therefore, you place added strain on the water table because the water used to water the grass is derived from the water table. Right? You can see it's already getting longer. Right? Just to go, the first time for me to go through example number 1 took a few, 1 or 2, 5 minutes maybe. This took maybe 10, 15 minutes to go through it. It's getting progressively longer. There's more content information. It gets so long now that I can't write all of this on the board. Right? That's the point, right? The point is that I can't write all of this on the board. Before, in example number 1, I could have both of my premises plus my conclusion written on the board. Eventually what will end up happening is, I mean, this could fill, I mean, it would be interesting to see how far you could take this, just to push yourself. You know, could you use this modus ponens logical formation, right, this rule of inference, and write 1 page for each part of it? Could you write a 4-page paper that had this form? So 1 page, that is your antecedent, 1 page, that's your consequence, 1 page, that's basically a reaffirmation of your antecedent, and then 1 page that is a reaffirmation of your consequence. Could you do that? How far could you push it? You wouldn't. I don't have enough room here. But the idea is, this is a demonstration that it's already exceeded the red part. What I've added, the new content information, has already exceeded the capacity of the board. My argument's bigger now. But you can see it, it's bigger. Here's all the new stuff that I added. So that the idea is, we begin with the rule, and then we make the appropriation, and it helps us stay in our lane. If, then, reaffirmation of the antecedent, reaffirmation of the conclusion. That's it. So let's let me explain what I have here. So, explained. If you water your grass during a drought, now, linguistically what I've done is I've inserted this sort of huge clause right here, right? And I'm telling you, right, if you do it, water your grass during a drought, and what I'm doing here is I'm telling you how, the ways in which you can water your grass during a drought. So if you do something, and let's think more abstractly now, right? You make a claim, whatever your claim is. If such and such happens, you can immediately augment that by explaining the nature in which this thing occurs. If you water your grass, well, okay, I can explain how I water my grass. How do I water my grass? Well, if you water your grass by using a faucet, if you water your grass by using a hose, if you water your grass by using this other method, blah, 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 right, it puts strain on the water table, blah. So the idea is, for modus ponens, you make your assertion in the form of a conditional, beginning with your antecedent, and any claim that you make in your antecedent initially, you can immediately augment it by explaining how that thing occurs. Okay. Then I have it in italics, right? By using a water hose or water from the faucet. And that is the explanation of the relationship, right? The relationship between watering your grass and exactly how it's done, right? buy water from the hose